Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back. I have to get rid of some nameplates because I forgot to do that. We just got Knox and Mason today.
Not Mason.
I have Fenrir.
Say what?
I'm fucking. Brain, come back to me. I need the brain cell. Come on back. Alright, so. Last we left off, Knox was about to open the door to their dorm room, or his dorm room.
Actual bedroom
Well,
or the apartment.
the apartment.
Okay.
You're outside the building at the current moment. You haven't opened the door. The door is stood in front of you. What are you feeling?
Nostalgic. Nostalgic?
You're a little quiet. Okay. Are you gonna open the door?
No, I'm just gonna keep walking into it. Yes, we're gonna open the door.
You open the door and enter into the dorm room. You have not been here in a long time.
2 months.
If I remember correctly, you took the room at the way back to the right, in like the corner. Kex was like right at the door to your left. And as you kind of look over in the corner of your eye, you can see the little nest he made still there in the way he left it. Everyone's things are the way they left it. The tables, the chairs, rooms a mess or clean. Family heirlooms, objects that they used pretty often, all strewn along the walls and the rooms and everywhere.
This is your place?
Well, it was shared, but I'm the last of us, I believe.
I'll just kind of look at you and be like, curious and understanding at the same time.
Yeah, just sort of pace about a bit.
Perhaps the
As you pace around, do you ever look into Dante's room?
Funnily enough, that was one room I was thinking about. Because I do miss the banter with Dante. So, yeah.
What do you feel as you look into Dante's room, knowing what you did?
Oh, shady.
ah,
I suppose it'd feel somewhat guilty, but I mean, the guy had it coming. Like, he had a death wish. And he was constantly putting everyone in danger with his antics, so although there is a level of guilt there, it's not extreme.
In Dante's room, on a side table right next to the door, is a letter. Sealed letter, dated 1 month ago, addressed to Dante. Or no, 1 month before his death.
I'm not just totally opening that.
It is a letter from his father, wishing him the best, hoping he stays connected with the friends he's made, that he has met. Because there was a period of time when you went there and then you came back before
I remember.
you went back again. So,
He wanted to steal the dying red dragon's loot from under him.
mhm. And it's more just pleasantries, just if you need any money or if you need to come home, don't hesitate to come home, and like all that kind of fatherly stuff.
Again, slight pang of guilt, slight. He had it coming. I don't think we're going to be going to the Kraken's Republic anytime soon.
So, when did you want to head to the lady's house?
Ladies' house.
Callie.
What?
Catch lady?
Oh, the cat lady. Sorry, I thought you said Ellie.
He said the lady's house.
Yeah, I thought you said Ellie. And
Oh,
that's
no.
what threw me. There's no reason not to head straight out. There's nothing here of worth.
As you are about to leave, Kek's room is to your right. Do you enter? Do you ignore it?
I imagine he would stand in the doorway for a time.
As you stand in the doorway,
Quite
Kek's
sort of
room
rusty.
is a mess as it always is. There's training equipment across the floor. There's his nest with hay strewn all about, and other twigs and, I guess, leaves, and all types of other things to create a nest in the corner. Yeah. As you stand in this doorway, what's going through your mind?
He would be thinking about everything that would have led up to Keck making the choices he made. And regretting how things went. And hoping it's not like too late to save him, for want of better words. So very sort of reminiscing, bit melancholy. Certainly unsettled. He was his oldest friend after all.
Did you lose them in the battle we are fighting now? The war?
You could say that. He picked a different side. For all the right if misguided reasons, but the result was the same.
And you leave. As you exit the dorm rooms, the streets are as crowded as you remember. Students going from place to place, doing their day to day, some with books and tomes and other pieces on their way to classes, others carrying bags of like groceries, food, things they got from the markets.
Does the library still fill the sky?
Yes,
It collapsed, didn't it?
it
I mean,
did.
it's still functional. It's still functioning. It's just a physical building now that replaced the sun.
Mhm.
True, yeah.
Yeah. What they have done is if you look up, if you think of, okay, I'm going to take us into a different fantasy world for a minute. If you think of in, what was it? Was it the first Avengers movie? Where they see the helicarrier for the first time?
Oh, yeah, so it
Yeah, like
rises up.
remember how the bottom of that turns into like the sky?
Yeah.
They've done that kind of effect upon the bottom of and the sides actually as you because the Magic Citadel, you're able to see it from pretty much very far away. It's a very big town. It's very built up, where you can see it from pretty far away. The tallest towers. They've done this to pretty much all sides of the university, whilst it is still physically above you. It is disguised now to look like how it should look. How if nothing was there.
Yeah.
I imagine we still, um, you know, like, when you were entering the city, you could still tell it was there. It's not like it's not full on hidden. It's just helpful when you're going to not feel like you're in a cave when you're walking through the actual city.
Mm-hmm.
This land is even stranger than the one with self-driving carriages. Wolf.
Yes, but it's different. This is more magical. That one is technology.
Both seem pretty magical to me.
I believe this one was founded by dragons.
You also grew up in a place devoid of anything. Cat faces. Looking at you, Penrir.
Basically, you grew up under a rock.
Hey,
I
there's
grew
a
up-
lot of nature
I grew up
there.
under a library.
Very close together. And plenty of wild creatures to be acquainted with.
Yeah, wild creatures that could bite your head off in an instant.
Num num.
I know a lot about those.
Yeah, and probably how to avoid them. Whereas we only have, like, wolves and things that can bite you but not devour you.
Like a normal wolf?
Yes.
Not a giant wolf? Bear
No.
wolf? Wolf gator?
Nope. Not a thing over here.
This land is strange.
And a lot of wolves are actually companions of many. People tamed them. To
He
help
like
them.
shudders at tame
just hunting or in combat.
Don't swear in front of me.
Cafe's is
Oh,
talking
no.
very slow, trying to like get it in your head that like things are different here. There are no such things as those things.
Oh yeah, and that's what his original thing was. It's like, wow, it's really different here.
Yeah. Should we go to Cat Lady?
Yes. Perhaps she will know where our 2 targets are.
All right. As you trot along and you go along, you enter the park, one of the many parks within the city. Most of the parks are dedicated more towards study and just recreational activities. So, whilst there isn't like lifting equipment, like you know how some parks have like a gym section where it's like pull-up bars and things like that. This doesn't really have it. It's more of like it's a little more hilly
Cat
so
could
that
go, like,
people can
all
kind
the
of
time.
just like relax on a hill whilst like reading a book. There are some benches strawn about so that people can do things. There are some like picnic tables about so people can do like homework and stuff. All in all, very nice. There's some people playing um, with their familiars, wolves and foxes and all types of different animals, doing just recreational stuff, bonding with their familiars. And as you go
Feels like this
along
nation.
the edge, you see the cat lady's house. Fenrir.
In the university.
Yes. It was always in the university. Or so you think. Fenrir. The cat lady's house is different. As you look into the great big window at the front, you see tons and tons of cats. It is as if a giant blanket of cats covers the entirety of the floor and everything. All different kinds, all different colors, all different shapes and sizes. But all of them are cats.
Fenrir lags behind just a little bit. His hair stands up a tad and he growls slightly without seeming to notice it.
One of the cats in the window looks up to you as they growl, and he looks up to you in this blank, unamused look and just looks straight at you. And then goes back to taking a cat nap.
Yeah, but otherwise he keeps following.
As you enter, the cat lady is at her dining table, reading a paper, couple pieces of paper in her hands. As she looks up and looks over to you, she goes, "Ah, welcome. Come on in." You can see how the blanket of cats basically stops at where the kitchen starts. And they basically stay out of the kitchen.
Somewhat comedically, Fenrir is going to be walking as if getting within a foot of a cat's going to burn.
There is no way to walk to the kitchen without stepping between piles of cats.
Yeah, but he's like, really careful about stepping within 6 inches of them.
Oh, you're rubbing up against them as you walk through. There's no in between.
And you know how if you don't want to go near a cat, they just automatically gravitate towards you?
That happens.
He just kind of
Christ.
moans annoyingly, and then just like whispers, "Nox, I'm gonna kick him."
Don't you dare kick my cats. She snaps twice, and they all kind of dispense a little more, creating like a little ring around you of non-cat.
Fenrir breathes. Personal space.
As you make it
And
to
then,
the table, she says, "Sit, sit. I have some tea on the kettle. Still boiling water."
Fenrir will sit.
Would you like a little cookie? As there's a tray of cookies in the center of the table.
All right.
As you take a bite, it's you know those like lemon cookies that like grandmas get? Those like little round lemon cookies?
Yeah.
They're exactly like those. I don't know if you have them over there, Nox.
I know the type.
Okay. Because I think me and Fenrir are picturing the same thing. The American minds here.
I'm pretty sure I've had them, yeah. I think they are over here, I just haven't encountered them all that often.
Yeah, they're small little lemon cookies.
But
They
I know
have
the
like a
ones.
little bit of sugar, the powdered sugar on the top. They're really like
Yeah,
soft.
they kind of look like shortbread.
Yeah. They're really good. They're so good. And only grandmothers get them for some reason. Like, grandparents are the only ones who ever have them. Whenever I've tried looking for them, I just can't find them. So I don't know, like, what magic I have to use to find these cookies. Because
Maybe
they're
it's
so
baking.
goddamn good. They're not baked. I know they're not baked because I've seen... my great-grandma used to have them all the time. And she would never throw out the packaging. So, I know that they're store-bought, because she's bought them at the store, but I cannot for the life of me find them.
That's fun.
Go to an
Fenrir's
old lady store.
She doesn't go to an old lady store, she goes to Ralph's. And if you don't live on the West Coast, you won't know what that means. It's a grocery store chain.
Yeah, I've got
Out
no
in
idea what that
Southern
means.
California. And probably other states as well. But I grew up in Southern California, so that's where I know it from.
Well, Fenrir is just gonna almost immediately start and be like, We have been told the 2 targets have made their way into this nation. We're here to look for them.
Unfortunately, you are correct in that matter. I say unfortunately because they are both giving me a giant fucking headache. And right before I'm supposed to leave.
You're leaving.
I assume you were told by the others?
Yes, I
We
was
aren't told
aware
much.
everyone was moving on.
Well, not moving on. Moving a safe distance away. Unfortunately, there is a rule in which we cannot bring anyone.
Just glances around at all the cats.
I said anyone, not anything. cats are my precious babies, and I will not leave without them.
Fenrir is just gonna look over and be like, "How are cats different than dumb people?"
She looks at you with a death glare.
Dude.
He looks legitimately confused.
Cat face face paws itself.
Face paws.
You're an oversized dog. You wouldn't understand.
Shots fired.
That is what I'm saying. I thought they were all the same.
Cats, at least my cats, are different than others. Unfortunately, I fear many of them will die. As not all of them have returned.
Well, if we are successful, then there will be no problem.
Unfortunately, we do not know if you will be successful.
Well, we're working
Thanks
on
for the
your
vote of
plan. You're not
confidence.
exactly inspiring confidence.
Yes, about that. I have successfully nullified the wild magic within the Uncharted lands.
That would definitely gain a shocked look from Nox.
It took a while, but I figured it out.
All of the properties, or just some?
Yes.
There is wild magic that affects the climate, but also there's also some that affects casting.
Casting works. The climate and everything else that goes in there, I could not fix. But, Nox, you should have no more issues within the Uncharted lands.
Nox would pull out the wand that he got given and says, I don't think I would have had much trouble anyway.
Why, that is a relic of the past indeed. You should know I have my own. Although mine is much larger. And she grabs onto nothing. And you start to see wood begin to twine down to the floor.
I
And
thought you were about to say grow.
Nope. It intertwines, wrapping around itself, creating a
How about it does?
solid staff with a cat atop it.
So many puns. So little time.
Although not everyone
Sorry.
can. It is a rare ability indeed to hide one's staff. One's wand is easily concealed, but a staff is much harder. I have not
I've
used
seen
this
people
thing
turn
in
invisible.
many years, actually. The only time I've had to use it in recent times was to get rid of the the wild magic that affected the casting of magic within the Uncharted lands.
Yes, I would imagine that would take quite some doing.
Oh, very much. She let goes and it starts to disappear within her. as your wand does.
I can't help but imagine what all the tribes and city-states are going through with new access to magic. But I suppose there's little time for that. These two were giving you enough trouble?
Who?
Our targets?
Oh, yes. But when do any of the 5 don't? They're trying to get things riled up, as it would. Trying to get those to side with Lord Petdan. I'm afraid many have, unbeknownst to them, they have at least subconsciously agreed.
That's worrisome. This is the only nation I've seen where a standing army seemed unnecessary compared to the civilians.
Yes. Well, many things are happening, Fenrir. Many things in the background. For one, the Tyr Empire has finally come to their senses and have noticed the threat the theocracy holds. Although, their
About
actions
time.
will be too late. By the time they actually do anything about it, hopefully, you will have already killed the Pope. She looks directly at you, Nox.
I feel
It's
I
a
need
situation
to better
here.
harness the power within me before I can do that.
I have a feeling that you have more grasp over your power than you think you do.
That is reassuring that you think so.
I think that your power does have some growth, but I believe you have sufficient enough control to torment him.
I don't want to torment him. I want to kill him.
Well, the best part about torment is when they lie in the fetal position, unarmed, and with their guard down.
I see.
I did not take her for the sadistic type. But I'm
When
here
it
for it.
comes to
Matic.
that bastard, I would torture him for all time if I had the ability and time to do so. I will put that on the record. That man has hurt more than just Nox here. And Catface.
So, it sounds like we will sneak in, debilitate and kill the Pope.
That
Is
is
the-
somewhat easy for you. Nox, have you filled him in on the theocracy at all?
Not as yet. It's not as straightforward as one would imagine.
Henry, you know how you like to stay within your hybrid form pretty often.
If I can.
If you are seen in your hybrid form, you will be hunted down like the dog you are. And killed on the spot.
Backhanded.
That does not sounding normal.
by every living thing within the country, including the abominations.
The so-called angels.
I thought she meant ghosts.
There is nothing angelic about them.
Don't I know it? I've still got their wings.
And an Aarakocra can fly just the same.
I dare say they're hybridized from one the same way I was.
Unfortunately, you are wrong in that regard. They are not hybrids. They are synthetic.
Entirely?
Nearly. There is one bit of them that is not. But that tiniest bit makes up not 1% of their whole being.
By Ullr's name, you'll have to excuse me, but I do best thinking of one query at a time. These two that are in the university, is it as simple? We attack while no one's around, get rid of the problem and leave?
Attacking and killing them would be simple, yes. But they have control over the headmaster. And they almost have control over him as well.
They expect enemies. More than the average.
It is not a matter of that. It is a matter of if you make a spectacle out of this, like you did with the one who called himself Mason for a long time. Was it Mason or Marcus?
Marcus.
Marcus. Sorry.
Marcus.
Getting names mixed up.
Mason's in our team.
Their
Oh, no.
names were
It was
like
revealed.
Sacrificing
so
another player.
fucking similar. When he said his name was Mason, I was like, oh god, I'm gonna mix these two up all the fucking time.
Luckily,
you
I'm
made
great
a
with names and have
spectacle
never
out of
done
it.
that.
Luckily, he had no allies. Here, they have the headmaster of the university, who can condemn you and your actions and make you public enemy number one. Here, that is not a good idea. And second of all, if you were to do so, it would drag more people to Lord Petdan's side, which is what we don't want.
What do you suggest we do? Deal with the theocracy first?
We must trick them. We must gain one of their signs, which is why I urge you to see the Grand Sorceress within the library. Get her on your side. We can lure them there.
Grand Sorceress? Is this the replacement of Yen Cedric?
Yes. I know for one, Nox,
see.
she has many questions. Remember the room with the clockwork underneath the one floor underneath the reception desk.
I don't remember one under the reception desk. I remember going
was-
up from it.
Yeah, so you went down into it, but it was like a puzzle room, essentially, with clockwork. And it revealed some stuff, and he gave you some stuff, if I remember correctly. Which I think whatchamacallit had, Dante had before he died.
Is your plan to fool the populace then? If you want us to kill them without creating a martyr?
No. We won't fool the populace, but without the pressure from those two, the headmaster will see reason. And I'm sure Knox, if he sees your face, he will be reassured.
So we will kill them in private,
Wasn't
and
aware
then
I
make
had so
sure,
much
and then make
influence.
sure that the follow-up regime aligns with our interests.
Yes. Also, the Dryads came and visited me whilst I was here.
Unusual. I didn't think you had many dealings with them.
I don't. They wish to see you.
To the point.
I don't. But they did leave some great tea, so I did thank them for that. They do, however, want to speak with you, Knox.
I thought they'd be glad I had departed.
They have mixed feelings. Let's call it.
Maybe they want you to be human, pay taxes, and not go to sleep.
Like in
Knox
today's
is
world,
like-
day and age?
Look at me, I'm a human, I pay taxes and can't go to sleep.
Look at me, I work 3 jobs to support myself. Woohoo. Anyways, you were saying?
Fenrir's also gonna bring up. Well, when we started with this plan, I didn't imagine that we'd become proper assassins. But I'm not against it.
I wouldn't call it being an assassin.
Well, if you consider stopping a war to be a political reason, then we're killing for political reasons and mind controlling for the rest.
Okay, then I guess it's an assassination.
This'll be fun. Oh, we were gonna go see your family, Knox. Apparently they had words.
The cat face looks
Yes, I
at
guess
you
we'll head
with
into the
slight
woods.
surprise as you call the Dryads Knox's family.
Trust me, so does Knox.
She looks over at you and is like, would you consider them your family?
You're from the Dryad's Forest, right?
I am, but they were more tolerant guardians than family. They kept a wary distance and made sure I didn't disrupt the balance.
Uneasy guardians is what most people call family.
And what about
No.
your family, Fenrir?
He'll look kind of surprised and be like, after learning the ropes, I ended up living with the wild beasts more than anything else. I couldn't say they looked after me, but it was company. There was an understanding.
But why leave your family?
Divine calling. We all get one death, make it a good one.
Are you sure?
No? About what?
That it was truly a divine calling that called for you to leave abruptly. Rashly, without thinking it fully through.
Okay, to be fair, that's how I do most things. Um,
Nox
I
just
know.
like stands behind him, just nodding quietly.
I am well aware. But you should know that if what we believe comes to pass, they will perish.
the beasts?
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
The beasts? Question mark? Who's they?
Your family.
I'll nod, like, kind of solemnly, but just be like, we all have one death, make it a good one.
If you say so. There she is now pouring you all tea.
As a general question, did Uller ever contact back before this mission?
No.
He'll casually mention that to Nox.
Trying to remember what you last said to him.
Oh, he's been just giving updates the whole time. Like,
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't respond to like just updates.
but it also, I mean, like, before giving the calling, did he ever get a response? Like, even just once in childhood, randomly for
Yes.
something.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When you
So he can.
desperately needed something, or when you were in like dire constraints, he would respond.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't expect him to respond to everything. He's giving him updates based on gods aren't omnipotent unless you tell them shit. So he's like letting him know information that he even might not. But then otherwise it's like, yeah. But he confirms like, I can confirm that it is Uller that sent me on this mission. It's not some trickery wizard or evil spirit.
I never said it was. The illusion magic isn't holding much. The Grand Sorceress doesn't have the same abilities that Yen Cedric did.
Understandable.
I want you to remember, Nox, that there were many things kept secret even from everyone else about him and his work. And many of the works that he has done. I do not know if she's discovered any of them, or none of them.
It may be best to keep her in the dark.
So this
I
next
believe
mission.
that would be the right call for what happened to him. But for other things, when he was reasonable and good, please relay that to her. He was a good man
Again.
after all.
Yes.
So, you want us to use our words to gain an ally? You sure we're the best people for the job?
Speak for yourself.
I don't think you in particular, Fenrir, are the one for the job. If you were alone, I would say go ahead and make yourself enemy numero uno. But you have other people to consider. Words
All right.
are more favorable than a fight.
Fenrir will just look at Nox and kind of look determined. I will support you then.
Knox would nod.
I was supposed to have a guest come and meet y'all, but I guess she'll have to meet you when you go to the Grand Sorceress.
Is that
Anywho,
alluding to new
So
character?
yes.
we will go to your home now?
I thought so.
Anyways, Nox, I believe you should see the Dryads first. They have something important to tell
Understood.
you.
I will make my way over there.
Alright.
I presume this is the last time I will see you.
Unfortunately, it will be. After tonight,
Well. Safe journeys beyond the veil.
I will be gone. Thank you. I will be rooting from you, as are all of us.
I will do my best.
Apologies for not having a more satisfying farewell, but I can't help but wonder about the task you took off from me. Do your nations have armies ready in case we fail?
Yes. But They will not hold. If you fail, no army will be able to hold them back for long. As you
Alright.
leave and step out of the house, she is at the door and says, "You know, a long time ago, I was never really referred to as the cat lady. As you see the house begin to lift itself up from its foundations, and underneath are chicken legs. No one's
This is
picking
a
up
really
what
strange
I'm
nation.
putting down.
Yeah. That's,
Nox goes like, no, just this individual. That is not normal for this place. That is not normal for any place.
And she goes off.
just like.
And nobody got what I referenced to.
Oh no, I did.
For sure.
Yeah, Baba Yaga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fenrir wouldn't know that.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say that's classic Baba Yaga.
Yeah, Fenrir
Yeah.
wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nox would have no idea, but Player does.
Player
We are high
references.
wisdom, low intelligence characters.
Yeah, we have a higher knowing, i.e. our players know.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll head off to the Dryads Forest then.
Alright. As
We'll
you
go.
go around and along, the train station is as busy as ever. And as you go to the train going straight to the Dryads Forest, as you stop and get out, you go deeper into the forest, Nox, as you go back to where you used to live in the forest.
Home sweet home.
As you are there, the Dryads are waiting for you. The oldest Dryad speaks first. Nox, we have been waiting for you.
I was told you were looking for me.
We have been. We know of your plans, and we wish to bestow a gift upon
Fenrir thinks
Nox is
to
just
himself,
like
I hope it helps with
jaw
murder.
open, just like completely surprised.
you. As someone who helped protect this forest for many years before going on this journey, we wish to bestow you and your allies with this gift. and all of the
Hand over a
dryads.
potato.
We're gonna say Mason's here as well. All the dryads surround you all. Hands out, and you feel magical energy rush between all of you.
What does
As
magical energy feel like?
you all gain a level.
Oh.
However, Nox,
Ooh.
yours is pretty specific, as your level only applies to the druid pathway.
Ooh. Force druid level. This is interesting.
Force druid level.
Oh. What if everyone got a force druid level?
I don't think.
Oh my
Fenrir,
god,
you
yeah. Could you?
could go into druid. To
Mason
be
just be like, why am I getting hairier?
I don't do triple class, so. But Fenrir, I don't think you have the stats to be a druid.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I need like one more in wisdom.
So. Goes into all of you. And they say, may this help on your journey forward. We have bestowed upon you a protection of sorts. As you are now part of the Dryad's forest.
I am honored. Thank you.
They nod, and they all disperse.
Disperse.
I mean, technically they've dispensed as well. Because, they leveled us up. So, it works.
They dissolve into the ground.
Right, okay.
Into the trees, into the bushes, wherever they're closest to.
Now I'm imagining that, but it's like really creepy.
Dispensed, then dispersed. Purpose.
Alright.
Yeah, he'll just like kind of look at Nox and be like, it's like the forest has a whole new light. It's somehow not tame, yet also still welcoming.
Forests look after themselves and what they consider to be one of their own.
It doesn't have society's force structure, yet also seems much less chaotic.
I'm also going to give you a special ability, all of you, hopefully, somehow.
Very hocus pocus.
If I can, I don't know. Maybe you'll have to manually add a feat, and that's how it'll happen.
Okay.
I mean, we like feats. I now have some awesome new spells, which are going to make me feel like a god. So many. And some more powerful healing spells too.
Okay. We'll discuss what I wrote down in a second
All right.
to see if it's fair or not. Or, yeah. See if it's fair or not.
Okay.
Okay. So, Nox, you are now in your little grove. You lived for several years where Keck used to bother you all the time.
Mainly because he would end up here as if by magic almost every time he got lost, and then never have a sense of direction to find his way back out again without me.
As if someone was always steering him towards you.
For feeding reasons, perhaps. Or at least that's how it would have started.
Mm-hmm.
As we approach it, Nox would say, now this is home. Like, you could see that it's wild and natural, but there's a lot more structure to it in the fact that it's clearly been very carefully tended to.
Finra seems to start to really like this place and just kind of finds nice spots to admire things before realizing, oh wait, we need to move on again. And then he'll find another nice spot and then realize later.
Nox would like the fact that he really likes it, because obviously, other than Keck, no one had ever really come here. So it's quite a strange thing for him to have a guest, so to speak.
He'll get like excited at a trail, but then be like, oh no, we gotta move on. Just like you repeating that, can't seem to stop
By the
wanting to do
time
things.
you actually reach it, nightfall has already fallen. The forest is pretty even tempered to the day. It's not cold, but it's like a decent temperature. Crickets are chirping, owls are hooting all around you in all different directions. And the stars lie above you.
Ah, Druid. If we are going to stop for the night, I would prefer this to the city.
Well, there's no reason why we can't stay here. It's perfectly safe. Very little can enter this forest without the Dryads being aware, and they will keep them at bay. Maybe
If
the
Finir
best
currently
night's sleep
had a
we've had in a
tail,
long
it would be
time.
wagging.
Doesn't Fenrir have a tail?
Not right now.
No, he only gets his tail out for special occasions.
And with that peaceful episode, I think that's where we're going to end it for this week.
Nice.
I'd say that's a nice bit of story, nice bit of reminiscing in background and tying up a few loose ends.
Mm-hmm. Making sure things corrugate together. Cat Lady used to be known as Baba Yaga. That's the players don't know that, or the characters don't know that. Story is almost done. I was very afraid that I was gonna run out of pages before this campaign was over in this notebook, but I don't know if I will.
Yeah, that's fun.
I am nearly to the end. It's
Should you
kinda
try
fun.
to keep one campaign to one notebook then?
Yeah.
Like, sorry guys, the finale is tomorrow, but I ran out of notebook, so that's the end of the campaign. Let's start the next one.
No, I will insert different.
It's like
I
them
have
games you didn't finish in time.
no.
You fail.
I have other
Like a Monster
scraps of
Hunter
paper
hunt.
that I'll just
Sorry,
shove
ran out of
in.
time.
There's a pocket in the back. I can put random scraps of paper. There you go. Ha.
Perfect.
On
a random
anyways,
scrap. They lost the big final battle.
oh, there are 3 endings to this campaign. I will guarantee that bit.
Get
We
all
will
3.
see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.